Here's a very common question I'm asked. What should I get, the Tunebot or the DrumDial? I'm going to go over both of these. I'm going to give a bit of a review of both, show them both being used in a practical setting, and then I'll give you my thoughts on which one you should get for which application. First, we will start off with the DrumDial. I had the DrumDial first. It's a great unit. It helps get you in the ballpark of where you should be. So the way the DrumDial works is it has a little peg in the bottom and it measures the tension of the head. As you put this towards the rim and move it to each lug, you can see the tension in each location. The great thing about a DrumDial is you're able to take a drum key, adjust the tension of your drum, move it around, and you can do this without really making any sound. So if you're in a venue where, let's say, there's a quick changeover and you know what you like your drum to be tuned to, because you write all these down, you can tune your drum without making any noise. Also goes for the same if you're at a venue and there's another band playing. If it's really loud, you can still use this. It's not going to affect if you had a microphone or something such as the Tunebot when you're tuning your drum. So that is one good application of this. It also doesn't use batteries, which is a great feature, and you can write down all your settings and basically save them. Two of the cons of this would be A, the price, and B, it's not always 100% accurate. I mean, even though it says it's at the same, sometimes when you tune by ear and you tap at each lug, I guess with the snare drum, you'd want this off, you'll have just a bit of difference in tone between them, and that's why I always say by ear, when you're done, go and just adjust each lug as you need to. Next up we have the Tunebot. The Tunebot works by mounting it on your drum, muting the bottom head, and tapping the lugs around the top. Usually I will set my drum on a pillow to accomplish this. So as you can see, I got a reading of 316. One thing you can do is you can hit the filter button if you're getting weird readings, and it will filter out some of the overtones, so you'll be in the right ballpark for these. I find I mostly need that on snare drums, but it does work on the toms as well. A few of the nice features is you can save and recall different drums. So you can have up to, I believe, 10 different sets in here, which is kind of nice. If you have two kits, you would just find bank 1, and you can select tom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can also have snare drum selected, bass drum selected, so your tunings you can have saved in here. So when you're on the gig, if you notice your drum's out of tune, you just pull up a previous setting and go by that. A couple of the nice features of the Tunebot is how accurate it is. You can't lie about sound waves. If it says it's 233, it's 233. So you put this thing all the way around your tom or your drum, it's going to be in tune with itself. They also have a nice phone app and tuning calculator that you can put in how many drums and toms you have, and it will calculate your tunings for you based on how resonant you want your drums. This is kind of nice too, because you can say I want my drums to really ring or I want them to sound pretty dead. Another neat thing about both of these devices is you can say to your friends that have the same device, what are your tunings at? A lot of professionals will post what they have online, and you can basically try and match other people's tunings. A couple cons of the Tunebot. Price, they are pretty expensive. They're probably about around $100. A little more than the DrumDial, definitely more than tuning by ear. In a loud venue, you're going to have a hard time because you're going to get readings from other sounds that are in the room. And you also do have to tap your drum. So if you're between sets and you don't really want to make any noise, this is another option that the Tunebot may not be good for. And the last con is batteries. If you don't have a few spares with you and this thing dies, you're on your own, which is why it's good to learn by ear. It is a digital device. Although the DrumDial, the screen could smash, this thing could die. You run a risk running any tool, I guess, where you should still learn by ear. So now the benefits of tuning by ear. You do get the true sound of the drum. So even if you think tuning to 70 is going to sound good on a DrumDial, or tuning your snare to 350 on the Tunebot, it still may not sound right. When you tune it by ear, if it sounds good, that's just how it sounds. When you learn to tune by ear, you're not going to rely on a device, so if something breaks while you're on the road or you don't have it with you, you can still do it. It's quicker, you don't have to rely on something else to maybe, there's no learning curve of learning a device and tuning, and it's also free. The only cons to tuning by ear are sometimes it's a little easier to use a tool to help you, And some people think they know how to tune drums and they just don't sound that great. It's also sometimes hard to know where to start, which is why having one of these will get you in the right area. There's 3 types of people I find that you'll talk to. Some of them like the Tunebot, some like the DrumDial, and the rest of them say, hey, you need to learn to tune by ear. Well, if you don't know where to start, or if you just sometimes have trouble tuning your drums and your toms, tuning by ear isn't the best if you're going to have them sound like crap anyways. These will get you close to where you need to be. I still recommend paying attention to what you're doing so you can tune by ear, but this is a great tool to help you get there. I can tune by ear, but using one of these, it still helps me get me to where I want to be, and then I will do the finishing touches by ear. So which one's better? I tune most of my drums at my house, even before I play a gig, or just when I'm jamming or whatnot, so I rely on this one the most. I find it is a little more accurate than the DrumDial, and I still end up going by ear after using either one. I like being able to save my settings in here, and I get there a lot quicker with this. I find with the DrumDial, even if sometimes I adjust it and lift it up and down, the readings aren't as accurate. This thing's usually bang on, and I can get my drums tuned a lot quicker. Snare drums are iffy on the Tunebot. If you like to crank your snare heads really, really tight, I think above 400 hertz they start getting a little bit finicky. And same with the kick drum. If you tune just above wrinkles, like really, really deep, flappy sounding kick drums, you may have a problem with this. But for toms, 100% the Tunebot, hands down. And snare and kick, I still prefer this, but sometimes I'll double check with this just to make sure I don't have any lugs that are way out. Either way, I suggest learning by ear. It can save you a world of trouble if one of these don't work for you.